The air erupts in a single breath as the grizzly, an emblem of primal strength, appears, and no prey is fast enough to escape. Silent, precise approaches follow, each movement decisive, like nature's touch restoring order. At the top of the food chain, the bear does not hunt from hunger alone, but from an instinct to control that becomes a right to survive. Patience and strategy turn it into a quiet hunter, creating moments that are both awe-inspiring and edged with risk. Beneath the forests of North America, the grizzly faces not only its prey, but also its own kind. Each bear, weighing nearly 800 pounds, stands face to face in disputes over territory and breeding rights. They do not rush in recklessly. The confrontation begins as two massive figures cross into the same boundary. They circle each other, and with every shift of stance, they leave marks on the ground, signs of power and presence. Both test their strength with short, forceful pushes, then deliberately pause to save energy, because for the grizzly, endurance is what defines survival. In the end, the one that holds its ground secures its place, a symbol of strength and determination in the wild. Deep claw marks remain on the muddy earth, imprints of instinct and the natural order that governs the wilderness. In the lower forest zones, black bears and grizzlies share overlapping territories divided by fragile boundaries. The black bear is lighter and more agile, quick to climb trees, while the grizzly moves with solid power, its humped shoulders like stone ledges, its gaze steady and calm. When both approach the same food source, the balance often tips toward the grizzly. One firm step forward and a low warning growl are usually enough to make the smaller rival retreat. In midsummer, mountain goats begin foraging across the rugged hills, venturing close to areas shadowed by the threat of bears. They cling to the steep ledges of the Santa Elena Canyon, holding their ground high above the valley. A chase erupts across the chain of steep cliffs. A North American grizzly moves in, its gaze locked on a mother goat and her kid. The young one leaps across a gap as the mother leads, hooves gripping firmly. Here, the height itself becomes their shield. In contrast, the grizzly's massive build forces it to move with caution, each step carefully measured. The pace of the hunt slows, the distance widens, and the prey fades into the mountainside. A question remains. On flat ground, would the outcome have been different? Across the frozen plains of Yellowstone, the Junction Butte wolf pack forms a wide circle, more than a dozen wolves closing in around a grizzly. On the snow-covered ground, their breaths rise in mist as the wind whistles through the dry grass, thickening the tension in the air. What they're fighting over is the last meal of the day, and every eye is fixed on the dark brown figure standing firm in the center. Wolves dart sideways, shifting direction in quick bursts, testing from every angle, building pressure from all sides. The bear does not retreat. It turns in sync with the circling pack, shoulders angled toward the greatest threat, head lowered, ears tuned to every shifting step. Then the pack splits in two, one flank feinting in another direction, throwing the circle off rhythm. They sweep wide, taking turns to provoke, while the bear pivots its shoulders to hold position, growling in steady bursts to assert its boundary with fierce determination. The standoff stretches on, energy fading in the grip of the frozen air. One by one, the golden eyes turn away. The wolves withdraw from the open ground, leaving the grizzly standing still beside its meal, a solitary point of calm in the heart of the harsh winter. In another stretch of Yellowstone's plains, a grizzly quietly trails a full-grown bison during the lean days. It doesn't rush, waiting for that brief moment when its rival lets its guard down. When the signal comes, the instinct to survive ignites, and the chase begins. But the early advantage quickly shifts. The bison, massive and battle-tested, turns to maintain distance, lowering its center of gravity to avoid being cornered, then counters with controlled, powerful charges. The bear drives its opponent toward a dry stream bed, where slick rocks and icy water force both to adjust their tactics. Here, the advantage shifts to the grizzly. Its heavy, steady steps and the water's drag combine to make every approach precise. On the same Yellowstone grasslands, the order sometimes reverses. The grizzly, symbol of the wild, is forced to retreat when a massive bison suddenly shifts from defense to attack. The sheer weight and speed make the bear recognize the disadvantage, and it quickly withdraws from the area. In a land where every creature must balance between attack and defense, even the strongest predator can become prey in a single moment. At the forest's edge in Montana, as a herd of deer steps into the clearing, the young ones instantly draw attention. The bear begins its move in silence, keeping its distance and waiting for the slightest mistake. It follows with steady persistence, channeling all focus into those few decisive seconds, just as one deer stumbles over a fallen branch. In this terrain, the deer is at a disadvantage. But for the grizzly, victory is not merely an outcome. It is the balance between patience and instinct. During migration season, the grizzly moves parallel to the reindeer herd, watching in silence. It waits for the moment when the herd crosses the soft ground, where even the fastest runners begin to slow. When the moment arrives, the chase begins. The bear bursts into speed, the herd scatters in a brief wave of chaos, and one young reindeer falls behind. Out of rhythm control is established before the prey can regain its pace. By the riverbank bordering the plains, another reindeer is driven toward the icy water. It tries to sprint away, but the slippery ground and the relentless hunter behind it slowly close off every escape. The struggle swirls across the surface of the water. The adult reindeer fights back fiercely, every moment charged with tension. Its rapid breathing blends with the splashing current as the narrow line between life and loss grows ever smaller. After several tense moments of struggle, the bear gains control and the surface of the river returns to calm. Only the wind remains, whispering through the riverside grass, echoing the end of a survival contest where timing and endurance decide everything. Along the icy rivers of Alaska, white foam swirls at the base of the falls. Hundreds of salmon fight their way upstream, leaping over each rushing step in their journey to spawn. Perched on a rock, the grizzly positions itself at the narrowest point of the flow, where the fish leap within reach and moves with swift precision to claim its meal. The waterfall is more than a feeding ground. It's a vital link in nature's cycle. The salmon enrich the soil and the forest, sustaining future generations of bears. The sound of the falls, blending with the cold wind, marks the close of another turn in the rhythm of the wild. The brief feast is the reward for a summer of patience, a perfect balance between instinct and nature's order. As the sun touches the mountain peaks, the bear leaves the riverbank, carrying enough energy for hibernation, a timeless cycle shared between creature and earth. As hot winds sweep the plains, the African buffalo, Syncerus kaffir, moves as a solid wall of life. An adult can weigh up to 1,800 pounds, with curved horns forming a natural shield. They live in large herds, bound tightly together for protection against any threat. For lions, buffalo are both a rich source of food and a formidable challenge. A single misstep in attack can endanger the entire pride. Statistics show success rates against buffalo are only about 20 to 30%, far lower than with smaller prey. This is why lions rely on cooperation. Lionesses lead the charge, while males add pressure or block escape routes. The pride bursts into action, using teamwork to unbalance the herd, split formations, and isolate a target. Only through such coordination can they offset the sheer strength of a powerful buffalo herd. One downed buffalo provides tens of thousands of calories, enough to feed the pride for days. Yet victory or failure matters less than the lessons earned. For lions, it is training in patience and collaboration. For buffalo, it is proof of the power of unity. On the savannah, no creature is invincible. Only those who seize the moment endure. In the wild, the Nile crocodile, an ancient reptile stretching over 15 feet long and weighing more than 1,000 pounds, is the silent ambusher of the rivers. Its strength lies in patience and the sudden strike from beneath the water. When victims step to the riverbank, the crocodile becomes a ruler of its realm. In an instant, it can surge forward. Yet no confirmed record shows an adult lion ever brought down by a crocodile. Most encounters end in brief standoffs, both sides pulling back to conserve their strength. On land, however, the balance shifts. Agile bodies and sharp reflexes give lions the edge. They can press close and overpower a rival more suited for the water. If a crocodile fails to retreat in time before a pride surrounds it, the ambusher may unexpectedly become prey. These encounters reveal a clear division of power. In water, the crocodile holds the advantage. On land, the lion dominates. It proves that in nature, strength is not only size or force, but the ability to master the environment. In the stifling heat of midday, spotted hyenas move in quietly. An adult weighs about 130 pounds, with jaws that can deliver up to 1,100 psi of force. Yet their true power lies in numbers and in the strict order of their matriarchal clans. Their sharp calls echo across the plains, signals that summon the group and ignite patience for the right moment. Lions and hyenas have long been rivals. When a group approaches a lioness at her meal, the air grows heavy. Step by step, they close the circle, pressing her to surrender what she claimed. At last, persistence forces the lioness to retreat. But the triumph is short-lived. When a male lion arrives, no fierce move is needed. His stride, his mane flowing in the wind, is enough to make the hyenas falter. Under such presence, they give way, leaving the ground behind. At times, hyenas dare to mock lions, trusting in their numbers. But that gamble is not always safe. On another day, one hyena failed to escape the pride's advance, and its story in the sunlit plains came to an end. On the African savanna, Territory is an invisible treasure that decides survival. It holds water, grass, and shade, the essentials that sustain an entire pride. For lions, guarding this land means protecting the future of cubs and the stability of the group. When a young male reaches his prime, he must leave his birth pride to seek land of his own. That journey almost always brings clashes with other rulers. A roar rolling across the plains may begin as a warning, yet it can also signal the start of a direct challenge. These contests are often swift and intense. Muscle is only part of the equation. Strategy and alliances carry equal weight. 2 or 3 males together can defend a pride for years, while a lone challenger is easily pushed aside. The victor claims control of the land and the chance to continue his lineage. The defeated must wander, searching for fortune elsewhere. Through every confrontation, nature reminds that no crown on the grasslands lasts forever. Each generation of lions must prove its strength, sharpening the instinct to survive. In the wild, the leopard is famed for stealth. It hunts in silence, avoids attention, and stays alert at all times. Not only to capture prey, but also to keep clear of stronger rivals. For a leopard, even a small wound can cost its life, so its instinct is to withdraw whenever possible. Most of the time, lions and leopards rarely cross paths, but when a lion ambushes, the leopard is forced to face it. If quick enough, it leaps into the trees, vanishing among the branches. If not, and the pride surrounds it, the moment grows dangerous. Often it lies half-turned, claws raised, eyes fixed on the threat. It is both a stance of defense and of submission, a message that it will not strike back, only seeking safe distance, avoiding an attack from behind. Sometimes, that patience and posture persuade lions to move on without a clash. Other times, when the circle closes, the leopard is left with one harsh choice. Stand its ground against overwhelming odds. In nature's harsh rhythm, the leopard survives by caution. It does not seek victory through brute strength, but through reading the moment and retreating in time. On the savanna, survival often matters more than any prize. Across the wide grasslands, herds of zebras, equus quagga, flow like endless rivers. Each can weigh up to 770 pounds, with powerful legs carrying them at speeds over 40 miles per hour. When running together, their black and white stripes merge, making it hard for predators to single out a target. For lions, zebras are familiar yet demanding prey. Hunting success rates average only about 25%. To improve the odds, lions must wait for the right moment, hiding in tall grass, lowering their bodies, and moving step by step. When the gap closes, silence shatters into the thunder of hooves. The chase lasts only seconds, but it is the purest display of instinct and muscle. A young or slow-reacting zebra may be cut off, lost in the dust. With a final burst, the lion can bring its target under control. In the cycle of survival, no hunt is ever wasted. Even in failure, lions sharpen their instincts and skills, preparing to strike stronger and smarter the next time. In the late afternoon, a pack of wild dogs races across the grassland like swift arrows. Speed, endurance, and flawless teamwork. These are the strengths of collective hunters. Each weighs only about 50 to 70 pounds, yet together they reach success rates of up to 80%, higher than most other predators. But they do not realize that every stride carries them deeper into the territory of a ruler. A lion suddenly surges forward, turning the hunt into a different kind of trial. In an instant, the air tightens like a drawn string. The pack, known for its persistence, scatters. A few younger dogs fall behind, while the adults swiftly change course and retreat. This is not a chase for a meal. It is a declaration of territory, an unseen line drawn across the map of survival. For the lion, every step through the tall grass is a marker of defense, every breath a seal of ownership on this land. In the wild, power does not always require violence. Sometimes one timely moment is enough to restore order among predators. Across the wind-swept plains, the grizzly moves like one who understands the language of the earth. Each step a calculation between strength and restraint, between instinct and precision. It doesn't chase every opportunity, only the moments that promise certainty. As dusk settles over the forests and mountains, the grizzly's journey continues. A story of balance and adaptation that never truly ends.